Hello, everyone. Welcome to our peer leader informational meeting where we will talk about things that we do in peer leaders, who we are, our committees, and who the goats are. All right, this is me. My name is Josh. I'm the CEO of Peer Leaders, and essentially what my job is just to help out around the class, just, helping the committees, helping whoever needs help when I do push-in or when our peer leaders do push-ins and they're in a class that need technical help or questions. I'm there also to help them. And I also am I communicate a lot with a lot of people, with Miss, when it comes to meetings, to certain announcements we have to make, advisory slides. I communicate with Educare to help us get funding or for anything we need or any help. Like our Leader Sunrise, we got funding from that with them. And also with, occasionally, our principal. I've had meetings with our principal one-on-one to talk about their issues. But that's just essentially what I do as a CEO. And now I'm going to call up the GOATs, which consists of 2 of our co-presidents, 2 of our vice presidents to speak on what they do. Woo, yeah. Ooh. Emily's our least favorite. Ooh. No, I'm just kidding.
Hi, my name is Emily Leon, your co-president. My responsibilities are to ensure that the classes are on the same page. I'm also who monitors when push-ins are going in. So I make sure that your peer leaders are checking their slides before they go push in. And my overall responsibility over the class is to make sure that everybody is good and happy with peer leaders.
Hi, my name is Emily Basurto. I am the other co-president alongside my other Emily. My responsibilities in this class is just ensuring that the class agenda is ready to go every single time. Also collaborating with Ms. Castaneda, especially when it comes to what's best and what's worse for this class. And yeah.
Similarly, what the presidents do, I also ensure that the agenda is up to date. And I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Alberto Sandoval, and I'm the vice president. And as I already said, I do make sure that the agenda is up to date, and I also make sure that our committees have their activities planned out for the week, so that they could present in front of the class or the committees itself.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Naftali Soto. I am also co-vice president. My responsibility as a co-vice president is to, like how everybody said, is to keep the agenda updated for when it's time for peer leader class. We will be ready to present without having any difficult issues. Another thing that I do as a co-vice president is that I communicate not just with my peers, but with other committees and everybody in the classroom, and with Ms. Castaneda the most, and the CEO. And that's it.
We're going to have our peer mentors, the lead and co-lead, come up, and one of them happens to still be our co-president.
Hi, I am Emily Basurto. I am also a lead for peer mentors. We are responsible in creating an open space for students, whether or not it's our physical or mental well-being. My responsibility is just making sure that peer mentors' agenda is good to go. I'm the one who tends to make schedules where I have everyone's roles ready for the next couple of months. It's kind of crazy. And we're also the ones who create the quote of the week on Mondays.
All right. Hello, my name is Allison. I'm Peer Mentors co-lead. So my responsibility in this committee is basically ensuring, helping out Emily with the slides, making sure our activity is done for our days we're supposed to present, and I just help out with the group and make sure everything's good.
So these are some examples of what we've done so far. On the left side here, we went outside and we created these flower bouquets where we could give to the people that we love. And then in the middle here, we have our shout out wall, something we do not regularly, which I wish we could do more of, but it's our way of shouting out people that we love. And then on the right here, we have one of our leads for event support making a gingerbread house, but they didn't make it too far. And yeah, so these are just some examples of what peer mentors have done so far.
All right, now the committee that'll come up will be community building with our lead, Noelle, and our co-lead, Jose.
Hello, my name is Noelio. I'm the lead of community building. So what me and my committee are in charge of is we're the committee that sets up the activities that we set up for Monday. So the little activities that CAT students participate in, those are the activities that we create. And also we ask for feedback from our peers to see how we can make these activities more engaging for students in school, because we want to make school a better experience for students to like get along, talk to one another. And also one of the activities that we have done in our class so far, we did what's in the box challenge. So you get a box, we added like an item, and the class had to guess what was in the box. We also did like a little Squid Games event with our class where we had the class go outside and participate in some of the events that was in the show in Squid Games. And I'm gonna pass it to my co-lead.
I'm the co-lead of community building. My name is Jose Hernandez, and I'm responsible for helping my committee create the activities for in the class and in advisory. My committee and I work together to create fun, participatory, and wowzer activities. My goal is to influence the future students to join peer leaders.
All right, that's our community building, and the next committee that will come up will be peer tutors. Ooh, yippee. All right, so our lead's not here, but we do have our co-lead, so I'll be subbing for our lead for now. So our lead is Jerry Twyman. I am a peer tutor lead in the committee, peer tutors. My job as a lead is to help not only my committee, but anyone who is in need of assistance when it comes to academics. I'm responsible for the schedule with tutoring, making sure my committee and I are exceptional academically, and making sure no one in CATS who truly wants and needs help are struggling.
So hi, my name is Hugo, and I'm a co-lead of peer tutors. As co-lead, my responsibility is to make sure when the lead is absent to take over and make sure all the information that we have posted is correct. I keep track of the tutoring schedule, making sure each committee goes to tutoring at the respective time, and making sure students are welcome and knowing that they have a safe space to work.
All right, so for our peer tutoring goals, as a committee, we like to try and help students do work and catch up on their classes so they may be less stressed with schoolwork. As a class, we want to create a welcoming environment that everybody can be comfortable with, along with a trusting environment that we as peers can help in a way that students may not trust telling staff members. I would like that as a school, peer leaders is recognized as a place any student can go so they may be safe and comfortable along with a good behavior and demeanor. And next up we have digital portfolio with our lead, Joseph, and our co-lead, Emmanuel.
Hello, my name is Joseph Rangel, and I'm the lead of digital portfolio. So basically what my job is, my job is to keep the people, my job is to help students with their future colleges and jobs they would like to pursue. And digital portfolio helps students with their awards, like, it's like perfect attendance and like honor roll, and the clubs they have joined to put them in their end of year portfolio. So I'm gonna pass it on to Emmanuel Ortiz.
So my name's Emmanuel Ortiz. I'm the co-lead of Digital Portfolio, and I take care of Joseph's lead when he's not around. I make sure to help with ideas and, make sure it's more fun learning.
All right, for our next committee, social media.
Hi, everyone. My name's Samantha Verdeja. As a lead of the social media committee, my job is to incentivize the students to really want to participate with our content and stuff. I feel like that's the toughest part about our job, and my biggest advice to the next social media committee that's coming up soon is to really think about how you can make people participate in the content. A lot of kids don't want to do TikTok. A lot of kids don't want to post Instagram videos. But if you make it a fun activity that has a little consequence of playing of doing this content, then it usually makes the kids want to do it a bit more. Additionally, if you need more help, ask Ms. Castañeda if some kids aren't listening. And overall, I feel like as a lead of social media or as one of the leads, I really have to teach my committee the importance of taking initiative when undertaking content projects. Oftentimes, it can be really disheartening when certain kids don't put the same effort as you do into recording videos and stuff. So I really just have to teach my committee that even if people don't want to listen, you still have to edit at the end of the day and you still have to post something. So the greatest thing is just try your best to talk to someone and try to understand why they don't want to be on camera and make sure that everyone feels comfortable being on camera. Maybe they don't want their face shown, so just try to edit it a bit out. It's all about working with the people that are in the classroom. And then my other lead, Kaylee, she's not here today, but I'll present for her. She says, hi, my name is Kaylee. I'm one of the leads, and we do content on all kinds of social media platforms. My job is to be there for everyone and communicate with others, as well as take pictures of everyone and let them be comfortable in front of the camera. And this is both of us on one of our TikToks. Yay!
Real quick, I don't know if Samantha mentioned it. I know she briefly said it. But it isn't lead and co-lead with Kaylee and Samantha. It's actually lead and lead. They're both leads because they both showed very promise and a lot of motivation to be in social media. So instead of making it lead and co-lead and putting one over the other or just making it like a different scale, we made it they both leads because they both deserve the spot. Next committee, event support.
Unfortunately, our lead isn't with us today because he has soccer practice. But I am co-lead. Basically, what I do is I just work alongside my lead, and I make sure that, all our stuff is ready and done, that we have all the stuff that we need to strive in a committee. And it's not, we just help the teachers and the students with what they need, if the teachers need us to host an event or help them with an event, we'll be there as help. And we also are in charge of creating activities for the class itself, not just outside of the class activities. And yeah, that's it.
All right, so thank you for attending this meeting. Hopefully our future PLs, I hope you guys learned a lot from today, or maybe even what committee or what role you want to have in this class. But just as another announcement, applications open March 3rd, which would be a Monday, and they close March 28th. And the interviews will be on the week of April 21st. Are there any questions? Yes?
I'm in a sport, so I was wondering, do I really have to stay after school every Thursday, or can I skip some?
If your sport is over, I will know, so probably don't skip. But if you're in the middle of it, you could talk to either our peer tutor's lead, which is Jerry. You could talk to me because I'm here every Thursday, or even Miss, and find a way to either have someone sub for you or to just be like, oh, can be excused today because I can't make it. The difference?
I would say they're really not they're not as similar as one would think. Leadership is really more school events and school priorities and school posters, creating school posters and stuff. And then peer leaders student led, very responsible, stuff like that. And it's very take initiative type of class instead of yes, leadership is take initiative, of course, we're taking initiative to be leadership, but peer leaders is just you're actually taking initiative to go to everyone and everything, while as leadership, you're more focusing on what needs to be done. So yeah.
Any more questions? I'll be honest with you have to translate that one. I'll be honest.
What days are meetings, or what days do we talk to come together and have meetings?
All right, so for meetings, it honestly just depends on when we decide to have one. So it's more, if I'm talking to Miss and we're saying, oh, we want to have a meeting with, let's say, peer tutors because we want to implement something else, then we will call a meeting on own time. Normally it's during lunch. It's very few times it's been during after school, but most of the time, yeah, it's during lunch or some days after school. Yes, Emily?
For this meeting, we did talk about it and plan it ahead 2 weeks before
Yeah.
to make sure that everybody can make it. So when we do have meetings, we make sure everybody's flexible with it and they can make it.
And we also do, well, we used to, but we can't do it anymore because of phone policy. We used to send out reminds as a reminder to, you know, oh, okay, there's a meeting this day at this time during lunch or after school, so. But we will, yeah, if we will let you guys know, like maybe a week in advance. More questions?
These are just meetings, by the way. So you're gonna have a separate class where you can see us either if it's odd or even. Okay?
So for the mic that didn't hear Beto, he just said that the meetings and classes are different. So meetings are outside of class time where we meet up with specific people or committees, talk about whatever needs to be discussed. But we actually have class during 8th period. And then that's when how it would go. Normally it's agenda, Cat's way of being, how you're doing, all that. And then it'll switch to the 2 committees that are presenting that day.
And during class time, what do we do?
Whatever the committee that's presenting chooses to do. They could make you run a lap if they want. I mean, if it's up to you if you want to do it. Yeah, oh.
And does every committee do it every single day? Or?
So for that, it's depending on the day and the week, because now each week it's kind of different. So we either have 3 odd days or 3 even days. It'll be 2 committee per day. So like this week, how we only have class Tuesday and Thursday, it'll be 2 committees Tuesday and 2 committees Thursday. And then next week, when we have it 3 times, it'll be all 6 committees. 2 on Monday, 2 on Wednesday, and 2 on Friday. That's it? No more questions? Sure, people? All right.